Okay. Hello, Izzy. I'm sorry that you are feeling ill today. Hopefully you are going to have a great time watching this video. Have so much fun with it. I suppose I probably should show you guys it too, huh?
A different one? It would be Cajun.
Alright. As you can tell, Izzy, you are missing none of the normal nonsense. We got that on tape, just in case you want to hear it.
Okay, I just saw something.
It's a mutual
Has
hate.
anyone
Let's be
ever
real.
put their
I'm
face
just sitting here.
underneath that?
What?
Has anyone ever put their face underneath that?
No, no one has ever put their face underneath this.
We tried.
Yeah, he's like, I want it.
Everyone just do it. It misses so much.
Give Izzy a little message.
Yes.
She misses you so much. All right, I will let one of you try it.
Pick it up, calculator.
Izzy, she's like, what is this nonsense? This is like a 40-minute video. How much of this is going to be just nonsense? And it's going to be a lot. 1, 2, 3.
No, I was just stretching.
Zach's like, if there's no I'm a winner sign, I'm not involved. 3. Do
Yeah.
Yes.
Gosh dang it. What way should I go?
you want to go from my way or your way?
I think it'd be more fun. I'm gonna sit on the chair. This is gonna be a horrible scene. Oh, that's my hand.
Oh, very nice.
Okay.
Zoom in on your eye.
Well,
Too
Izzy,
zoomed in for my
Now-
liking.
How far are we so far? That was a good first minute and a half. Sorry about that. All right, so this is R-4 factoring day 2, right?
yes. So now when someone else asks you that, you can say yes.
I will say yes. I will say, yes, a young lady did put her face underneath this. And they loved it. They loved it so much, especially the people at home. Today is 9:15. Okay, so I believe we had 5 ways to factor, right? You don't have to rewrite these. You can just put it on the ones we already had. So the first one was what? Taking something out? What was the next one? And then? Xbox. Number 4 is something called the wing way.
I had wings last night.
This was created because I'm going to teach you a different way than the book teaches you, a different way than I learned, a different way I'm guessing than Miss Dahlstrom learned. And the reason why is because it's originally called grouping. This way is called grouping. So if you looked it up anywhere else that wasn't talking to me, it'd be called grouping, including in the book. Connor Wing, a few years ago, anybody know Connor Wing? Jaden Wing, Jordan Wing's older brother. Connor suggested this way, and it is much better than the way I've ever learned in the book. And I've kept calling it the wing way ever since, because everybody in class called it the wing way, and I prefer it. I think it's much better. So we're gonna try that right now. Which example are we on? Example 8. I'm gonna put a little 4 next to this so we know that it is an example of the 4th kind. Okay, so I want to do all right, so we need to factor this. MP squared plus 7m plus 3p squared plus 21. All right, somebody tell me how you know that this is not one of the first 3 types. There's multiple letters. You can't take a M and a P out of everything, or even a 3 out of everything, right? Like, you can't take stuff out. There can be multiple letters in X and Xbox problems, but why is this definitely not an X or an Xbox problem? There's 4. There's 4 terms, right? Okay, so this is called the wing way. So the wing way is you just draw a box. And you put all 4 of them in here. And then you just pull stuff out. So what's in common between these two? P squared. And what's in common between these two? These two? M. 3. We did it. Okay, I am quickly going to show you how this problem used to be done. I'm guessing how Ms. Dahlstrom and definitely I learned it. And it makes so much sense. I mean, I teach the X box. Why not just use a box for this? But I'm gonna show you the old school way just in case somebody cares or wants to whatever. So what you do is you look at the first two terms and you think about what's in common between them, which is an M, right? So I'm gonna write M, and then I'm gonna take that out of just the first two terms, which is N times parentheses P squared plus 7, right, so far? And then I teach the second half like a different problem. And on that one, I'm gonna take a 3 out. And then do you see how I have P squared plus 7 twice? So now I'm gonna act like these are my two terms, and that I'm factoring out a P squared plus 7. And what I'm left with is an M plus 3, which is that. It's hard to understand and get your mind around, and I think this is very easy. And when Connor suggested it, he was like, why don't we just do this? And then he brought it up and did it on the board, and I was like,
How did he figure that out? Like, is it-
I mean, it makes sense, right? To just, I mean, we've been doing this the whole time, but I just didn't think of it. And it's really obvious when it's one of these problems because there's 4 things. Now, can you put those numbers anywhere in here?
No.
You actually can't put them anywhere in there, but it's not hard to figure out what goes where. You put together things next to each other or above or below each other that have something that are in common. Like, so I start with MP squared here, right? And you see how this one has a 7M and these two don't have M's, so I know there's gonna have to be an M. I could have put the 7M here or there. And it also, there's a P squared here, which has to line up to this one. So I put that on the other spot and then just filled in the 21 in the last spot. It'll be really clear if you put it in the wrong spot because it'll quickly not work. So all that really matters is that these two are opposite of each other. All right, you wanna try? Why don't you go sit by your partner? Who is Izzy's partner? Okay, so you're with Lily today? Jenna.
I'm with Hayden.
Why do I keep thinking it's you? I keep thinking you were the one gone,
Well,
but you weren't.
Oh my God!
Winding up.
He just, oh.
This must have been was the one going.
I feel like-
Got new partners.
Thank you. I'll tell you, this heat and me missing both pens got me a little crazy right now, so. All right, are we ready?
Wow, okay. I don't know. What?
Okay. Just do the problem.
Now, I'm not saying that anybody ever deserves to be pretended to be hit. But
But you did hit him.
did he really? Inappropriate.
Yes!
So inappropriate, Morgan.
Yes!
Okay.
Gosh. Wow.
There's a lot of emotions to unpack there.
I know.
Morgan, it's okay to reach out for help.
Oh, okay.
This reminds me of me like talking to my yelling at, well, not yelling at my husband, but talking to my husband last night because every dang time he goes in to put Penny asleep, he winds her up so hard. Like he'll walk in and he's supposed to just like lay down next to her and talk to her for a little bit because that's what they like. And instead, like just after a couple minutes, she's like, and I'm like, stop it. Whatever you're doing, he's like, I'm doing nothing. And he's like, she's the one who's doing stuff. She's like, no, you're the one who's doing stuff. And I'm like, stop firing her up. She's going to bed. God, every night.
Have you guys ever gotten like a good family photo with everyone?
Oh, never, not once.
Camera.
That's a feel like you're just
We're also not the type of family to pay for a family photo. Just occasionally try to be like, hey, and it never works. Yes. Let me see. Hold on, I might have messed it up. Did I copy it down wrong? It is a negative one. Go get a prize.
Something just didn't add up and I was confused.
Now, normally I don't give a prize for me making a mistake, like copying it out wrong, but your reasoning was great. And credit where credit's due.
Can we count up on this?
Friday? Yes.
Let's
I can't wait because the freshmen are like gonna be real upset when you guys have like 3 posters or something.
Are these in like the red
Actually,